So we're on day two, moving into day three. We are looking right now at what can we share to our target. We're going to share an offer to our target, right? And we want that balance and that stability to come from picking the right target, the right offer. And that is what we call a business model. So we are looking to build a strong you. We talked about that dream, believe, commit, embrace yesterday. Dream, believe, commit, embrace as a way to lift those muscles and build you as a business owner. Yesterday, very important: dream, believe, believe. Oops, if we misbelieve or if we miscommit, if we misembrace, all of that, we're going to struggle as a business owner. We're going to talk about the next thing that can get in the way of a good, strong business. But so we have you, we need to work on you. We need to work on the business model, right target, right offer, right timing. And then we can change the world. If we don't have those things in place, we're going to have a problem. So build a better business, build a better you, build a better business, build a better world. And today we are focusing on the sharing of, you into the world with an offer. Yesterday we did the what, by when, why, with whom, and how. So what do you want? By when do you want it? Why, with whom, and how. We did a little what do you want? Why do you want it? By when do you want it? How in a chart yesterday. We worked on the target and height and hunger statement. And today, as we roll forward, we're going to learn these things. So the biggest roadblock to success for the creative entrepreneur, and we're about to dive into that right now. We're going to discover a powerful business model, the right offer, and we're going to be talking about that all the way into the end of the day in the spotlight section. So stick around for that. We'll be building out some of the key parts of what we call the flight path or that business model. And we will get a chance to receive some spotlight coaching and hear from other people. So, you may wonder why everyone doesn't reach their goals. Everyone has different results in this program here or in the world with building their business. And you may have. It took me 12 and a half, 13 years of running a successful, outwardly focused, successful coaching business on television, international stages, Fortune 50 clients. Still couldn't put together enough money and reliability in my business until I learned what you're learning here today. And it all comes down to really belief and behavior, how you think, how you are managing yourself. Now, yesterday we watched a video of Aaron Ralston and how he managed to alter his thinking in order to get out of a really tight spot that he was in, right? Today, just in interest of time, I'm going to, Michael, pivot here and we're not going to lean into that video quite right now, but I will tell the story of that again for those of you who missed it. So Aaron Ralston is a man that went hiking in a canyon on his own one day, and no one knew where he was exactly. He just went on his own in Utah, I think it was. And he went into a slot canyon, had his hand on a wall as he was trying to get through the little tiny crevice that was that slot canyon. A rock fell from the top and lodged against his arm. And he was there for 5 days trying to figure out how to get out. He came up with an idea about how to get out. He knew what was needed to get out, which was that he would have to leave part of his arm in the canyon, just have to say no to something. And he would have to free himself. And it took him another 5 days to make that decision and to do it. But then he did it. He got out. What you all don't know who watched yesterday is that after he actually cut his arm off, this is a little gruesome, but it's important because many of us are in this room because we keep making decisions. We keep pursuing a career, pursuing a way of living, pursuing, hoping, praying, denying, assuming that it'll somehow all work out. It's just a little sort of, I'm just not looking, right? And I want that to stop here. I want to give you all an opportunity to stop that here because it is one of the only ways you will go from making $60,000 reliably, repeatably, or even 100 to multiple six figures. And more importantly, for some of you, multiple six figures doing what you love. So some of you are in the room, you've managed to get to six figures in your business. Some of you have gotten way beyond six figures in a particular career, and now you're looking to pivot out of this career. And we want to really understand now in this event, in this moment in time, what could actually compromise your ability to make that pivot, whether it's from no more earning to 60,000, which would feel great, 5,000 a month essentially, or whether it's to 10K per month and beyond in a new career that you really love. So some of you have been here for a little while learning how to do that. And this conversation is important to you as well, because if you're not where you need and want to go, some decisions still need to be made. And you may have one that's as big as the decision that Aaron Ralston had, which was, the only way I'm going to get out of this canyon is to change the way I'm engaging with the canyon. I can't sit here and struggle and pretend like if I just shout louder or if I try harder, I can get this arm out from underneath this rock. That's not how it's going to work. I'm going to have to market, sell, package and price properly and learn that sales conversation, learn how to talk to people, settle myself down, zip my lips, not say certain things until it's time, listen better, respond better, etc., in order for me to create a beautiful business with 10 people in it that I serve, only 10, at a high ticket rate, and a lot of other people that can come and work with me, but I'm not, trying to pay rent or mortgage off of those folks. So we're trying to build the right business here, the right model. I love Angela's comment here in her, if you put up the slides again, Michael, that will give our group here a chance to see that. Angela says, she's musing. This is one of our clients here at CSC. It's so hard. Why is it so hard not to go rogue? She says, right? Not to just follow the model. Why is it so hard? Oh, wait, there it is, that word follow. And for most of you, like all of us in the world have trouble with that. But for creatives or adventurers like Aaron Ralston, that's really hard because you are on the leading edge. You are doing it your way. You did not even follow a career that anyone else would do. You screenwriters, et cetera, out there, like no one would do that. Like it's crazy, right? So right now in this moment, in this event, in this business build moment, really taking a look at, And for all of you who are like doctors, I think Madura and others that are also starting new businesses that have never been an entrepreneur, this applies to you as well. So we're taking a look at what stops you. What would stop you from succeeding?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that has you step back, right? Thank you. I know our team will mute that. What is it that you will allow to stop you? And I really want you to take a look right now as we go through the rest of this moment in training, where you are not independent, where you are hijacked, where you are stuck, and why. Because as we begin to build, you will resist the coaches, you will resist yourself. As you begin to dream yesterday, you may have resisted yourself, what you really want. You may have been afraid to even really say that to anyone. Some of you all of you are building businesses that can either be $60,000, $65,000 businesses, 5,000 a month, or they can be $600,000 businesses. It's the same content, people say it takes the same to build a button as it does to build a castle. It's just different activity, but the same amount of activity to build one or the other. So I want you all to know that depends on your ability to dream, your ability to remove the roadblocks that you put in the way, and your ability to see them and then make that decision to remove them. So we have to see them first. We have to understand what it is that it takes. So Aaron Ralston, when he was in that canyon, he had to make that decision. And the thing I want you to walk away from today with is for Aaron Ralston and possibly for you. Our event is 5 days long. It took Aaron Ralston 5 days, right? 5 days to make the decision to cut his arm off. He knew what it would take. He knew it would hurt. He knew it was pretty dang awful and or just hard. And you guys, I'm not asking any of you to cut off an arm, but for many of you all, it is that embedded on you. It's just part of how you be and who you are. It's the default. It's the first thought. It's the always first action that you take, that we have to stop having that action happen around business. We have to stop having that thought happen. We have to stop saying yes to those people, those things, those opportunities, and say no instead. So it took him 5 days to do it, but he knew the answer on the first day. He knew the answer on the first day. So a lot of you think that it's like hardship that's making you unhappy, but It's not. It's that you haven't cleared that internal battle and seized what you really want. You haven't decided what you want. You haven't decided that there is a way to get it and that you will ask the questions, show up in the proper places, let go of the things that are pestering you, learn to let go of them over and over and over again and not choose them, right? So most of us know what we need to do. We know that there is something different to find ourselves involved in. And we, know that to get where we want to go, we've got to do the thing that we think we can't do. So as we go along, and I want to shout out to those of you who have been in this space, really listening and learning. KB is a good example. She's honest. She's so bright, cheery, and present here. We think she's just fine, but internally, she's crying behind a dumpster. She's honest. She's saying, "I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that." And for some of you who are excellent and awesome in one area, and people are still coming to you, asking you to work. You've got a lot of opportunity in that old way of being, that old way of working. So to just say no, because that's how you know how to function. I want to invite you to the wonderful world of building a better business, building a better you, building a better business, building a better world. So when you make a difficult decision, everything calms down. When you make that difficult decision over and over and over again, you leave off your first thought, your first activity, your first action that you might have done, and you settle yourself into a space, the support, the thinking, the action that you need, everything changes, everything calms down. So we have to learn how to do that. And I want that for you. You won't be happy if you don't face the challenge of the opportunity in your life. So we've already spoken today about making sure you get coaching. We're going to keep moving on with slides here. So the number one thing, the biggest roadblock that creative entrepreneurs face when they are building wealth and prosperity and impact, when that they crave, when they're building all those things, what is the biggest roadblock? And I like this little carrot. You guys a lot of us are like this. As you move, so does the carrot. And we think, oh, I can see that carrot. It's just right here in front of me, right? It's just right there. But as we move, it moves, right? I love this image because that's how we are with opportunity. We think just a few more of this and we'll be fine. And always when your carrot keeps moving and it stays that far away from you, this thing we're about to teach is the reason why, because you are not free yet, and you're not able to make your own decisions. You're not able to see. So we call this the distinction between independence and beyond. The biggest roadblock for creatives, and really anyone in the world, for building anything that we want is not being independent. So let's take a look at independence as compared to some other states that we can have, right? So we can be dependent, that little small circle. And one of the ways we try to get out of dependency is to lean over into codependency. Many, 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 many creatives are codependent on one level or another. Why? Because they're already doing something that's impossible. You're already out in a place where you don't know what you're doing. There's no infrastructure. There's no ladder to climb, right? So you're already going to be slightly codependent. That means relying on someone else or hoping that if you just cuddle up with someone else, figuratively or actually, then you will be able to get further along if you just have that partner, that friend, that thing, that, right? So we make those codependent. Now, there are times when codependency, a conscious codependency is fine. Like, I'm going to do this and you're going to do this, and that's okay, right? We're going to trade for this. Okay, great. As long as those parameters are super clear and as long as you are still working towards, if that that agreement goes south, I can find another way to survive and thrive, right? So codependence can be a temporary solution to becoming independent. It is not the healthiest response, though, generally. And a good creatives are often about 50% at least codependent in some way, shape, or form in their lives across the board. So we want to get out of that and into the land of independence first, and then interdependence, where we can actually collaborate freely with others. And I like this little, image here. So at the codependent or dependent level, you are not free. There's no freedom to choose. And that is the problem. We need to be able to choose the dream that we came up with yesterday, right? Dream, believe, commit, embrace. One of the ways we believe and we commit is to learn how to separate ourselves and find out how we can be independent. Okay. And you're going to be working on that offer, etc., the right target, the right offer, putting that together bravely towards that dream. That's part of becoming independent, is selecting that really carefully. All right. So we want to be able to cause things to happen with ourselves at minimum, to be able to be free to choose and to cause things to happen for ourselves. And that is independence. Once we get into that realm, we can actually cause things to happen with other people. That's interdependence. And that's where we want to go. You'll see in this image, probably best to remove me, Michael, because on the left-hand side of this image, you'll see some milestones we use here at CSE just for business building. They're not, cut in stone. So, but to determine like, well, am I codependent, dependent? Am I independent? Am I interdependent on the left? And you'll see some metrics like money or people. So for example, you might see, in the dependent arena, how do we know that we're moving into independence? Our identity is something we can, it's distinct. We can have relationships. We have values that are our own. We have capabilities that are our own. We can control our behaviors, our actions, our health, our freedom, emotional, physical, and financial freedom. If we are not free emotionally, physically, and financially, we don't have food, water, and shelter handled. So every one of you, look, if any of you are living with a parent, living with another person, not able to pay your full rent, if you couldn't figure that out, if you don't feed yourself well because you don't have a habit of knowing how to make lunch, that kind of thing, those are little signs of I'm still dependent on something like that. Here's a good little chart that will show you kind of a way to gauge. So just take a look. We're just doing this for a moment in our training today because it's so critical. And your coaches will point this out in sessions across the week if they see a dependency, a codependency, if they see that independence you're struggling with independence, that your dreams are not large enough to cause you to be independent, or if your way of being attached to being liked, having other people, do things for you, etc., or how other people look and perceive you, then you're still not independent. And they will see that. They will know that it's going to get in the way of your ability to build the business in the room during the event. All right. So just a couple of things to call out on these lists. I'm not going to read the whole list, but other people are responsible for my happiness or my confidence even, or I am. In the dependent arena, self-trust is a problem. And you guys, if we haven't developed skill set, we do struggle with self-trust because we don't have that skill set. So there's this like dance of being dependent on the learning and the education and being independent to choose which education we get, which things we listen to, having the self-trust that you have chosen well on what you've decided to put in your world and what you've decided to keep out. Is it continuing to, every time you hear it, it continues to give you value, add value? Then we need to find a way to keep that in your life. And if it isn't, then we can release it. So that's self-trust. A lot of dependency is about denial. A lot of dependency is about avoiding pain. So being able to sit in pain and not do anything about leaving it for a minute while we investigate it, find out what else is possible, what is really true, will give us the right answer. We need to cut this arm off and get out of the canyon. It's going to hurt, but it'll hurt for a short while and then I'll be all right. Otherwise, I'm going to die here, die metaphorically, right? I'm just not going to progress. So in the dependent arena, we keep finding ourselves believing that circumstances or the world, whatever, holds more power than we do. And then we don't dream very well. We don't commit. We don't embrace, because we don't really believe we have the power. So these are some things on that dependency. Also some really practical things like no agreements. If you guys are not used to really calling out clear agreements with yourself and with others when you're working with them, that's a problem. And if they're not doing that with you, I cannot tell you how many times in our creative world People are like, oh, there's a contract. Yeah, there's a contract. How many of our clients are resistant about making contracts for their clients? How many of them are like, no, absolutely, I have one, but I forgot to send it. I don't send it. I don't walk my clients through it. Because why? Because they are afraid, they're in denial. They're afraid that if they talk about the agreement, then now people won't buy, or people will be like, oh, this bothers me, I'm going to get out, right? Because those people are dependent. Instead of trusting themselves, our owner trusting themselves to have the conversation and to trust that their value, there is a way to support the prospect to understand that the value is worth it. You know, you guys, hiring someone for $100 instead of 1,000, or 1,000 instead of 10,000 is often a dumb idea. Like, that's just $1,000 down the drain. If we spend more than that, because it's the right fit, and you've taken the time to work with your prospect to help them really work through what it's going to take for them to get out of their canyon, if you've really done the work on that, then they begin to see that canyon. They begin to see, okay, you know what, I've been spending $1,000 here, $1,000 here, this DIY program, this, one-off coaching session, physical fitness thing, nutritional supplement, whatever, that I bought. And I've spent thousands of dollars on it when I could have been spending thousands of dollars on your program. So thank you.